So as Orlo is standing there, you start to listen to some of the conversation, and then you really don't want to be here, so you get very easily distracted, remembering that you have snacks in your pocket.
Berries.
Who wants to go first?
I could do pass without trace, right?
You can also do that.
Well, I was gonna say on a scale from 1 to 10, I've got about a 9.
We could do pass without trace, and that would give us all bonus to stealth check.
Yeah,
Correct.
is it plus 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick.
Yeah, it is a pretty hefty score increase if you'd like to do that.
Yeah, so while they're discussing this, I just kind of, from behind both of them, just cast pass without trace on on all three of us.
Then go ahead, all three of you, and give me a stealth roll, and then add 10.
All right, I'm rolling a real dice.
36.
Damn it, 35.
I win.
27. Rolled a 12.
That'll do.
With this, I'm very sneaky, sir.
Sneaky, sir.
Proud of Adam.
So what is going to be my marching order? Laya, then...
I'll bring up the rear.
Okay. Hang out in the nice safe middle. An Emmerin sandwich.
Ooh.
Okay, so...
Ooh, you don't even like him.
As you guys kind of descend this this stairwell, it wraps down and goes down further underneath the house. And the further you start going down, you kind of get this. It starts to get damp, and it feels wet, and it's moldy, and it smells like just decay. It smells old, and like that it's been closed up. And the further you keep going down, it's these hand-hewn stone walls that just wrap down. And at the bottom of the staircase, you can see it's quite dark. Do you guys have? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure Laya has dark vision. Do all of you have dark vision?
I can cast dark vision on somebody, but that's it.
I am a human.
That's right. You are a human.
Do I have dark vision?
You may not. I assumed since most of the new things that they added, all have dark vision.
Yeah.
No, I mean I'm a changeling that's in human form, so.
Okay, so none of you have dark vision then. So it's relatively dark down here. There are a few torches here and there that line the walls throughout this place that you're walking into, but overall it's just dark. But as you walk down at the base of the stairs, there's just a small opening, like entry room, and it looks like there is a hallway that cuts off to your right and one in front of you that has a door on it.
Can anyone see anything?
Nay.
You tell me, and then I just like reach over Emmerin and touch Laya and cast dark vision on her.
So it kind of, as Orlo casts dark vision on you, the color kind of fades out a little bit from the walls, but as it does, you can see the room in front of you a lot more clearly. It's in just kind of like a grayscale, but you can see all of the walls, the floors, and the hallway and the door completely clearly now.
Cool. I'll just like whisper that to them so they know what I am seeing. I'm gonna open the door.
All right. So I kind of put my hand on her shoulder so I know where she's going. I'll grab Orlo's hand, put it on mine.
Do we see any traps?
Fair. Do I notice any trap?
Give me a perception check, please.
Beings that only one of us has a good set of eyes in the dark.
Yup.
7.
God,
He does not see any traps.
I see 0 traps.
All right. Well, we trust you.
I'm gonna go like kind of listen at the door and see if I hear anything.
Make a history check real quick.
All of us?
Just Laya.
Okay.
Unnatural 20.
Okay. So as you you press yourself up against this door a little bit, and you can very, very faintly hear on the other side. It sounds like a conversation happening. The voices itself, it sounds like there's 4 separate voices. The voices itself you mostly do not recognize, but one of them stands out to you very substantially. And it sounds very much like the voice that you heard while you were with Rogak in the square.
So the hot tentacle lady.
That one.
Whoa! And it gets deeper.
I'm gonna whisper that back to them that I can hear people talking and that one is tentacle lady.
Fuck. Anybody in the mood for calamari?
What do we do?
Kill it.
There are 4 voices in there.
4? We can't afford to barge in there then.
Absolutely not.
Can we draw them out somehow? What? Okay. Let's go back up.
Also, just as a reminder, there is another hallway that you did not go down. I just want to make that perfectly clear because I don't know if you heard me say that when I was talking about it.
I
don't
just
think I
going to
caught
say
that.
that.
No, I'm
so.
sorry. Then yeah, let's I'll like slowly move over to the hallway so we can look around there. Still quietly. How long does the pass without a trace last?
Like 8 hours, I think, or something.
Okay, so we're fine.
Up to an hour, yeah.
And
Never mind.
Dark Vision, I think, lasts 8 hours.
8.
As well.
That's the one that's 8 hours, yeah.
Okay, so then yeah, we'll make our way over to the hallway.
So as you start walking, it's not a super. Oh, okay. So it is a concentration spell that lasts up to an hour for Pass Without a Trace.
Mm-hmm.
It's a longer hallway that you can see at the end of kind of where your is it? Oh, I guess I should look at that real quick. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure it gives you normal dark vision. I assumed it did, but so 60 feet. So it's kind of the edge of your range of where you can see, and it starts to kind of get dark again. It seems like there's another room up ahead down this hallway where it kind of opens up into something.
Do I hear anything coming from that direction?
Make a perception check.
10.
You can hear some like water dripping and some like faint scratching, which sounds probably more like rodents than it does anything else. But that's really about all you hear.
Dire rats.
All right.
I don't think they exist.
ROUSs?
They're like normal rats, except dire.
I will inch my way that way. Although I guess I don't have to inch. We're quiet. I will walk that way, only being slow, just to try to avoid being seen.
Wait, they can't hear my steps. I walk forward at a brisk pace.
Laya's just sprinting in circles around the room.
They can't hear me. They can't hear me. They can't hear me.
I cast John Cena.
So as you make your way down towards this next room, at the where it starts to open up, you can kind of take a look around, and it looks like a bunch of trash and waste and garbage for the most part. Like barrels just kind of tipped over, just stuffed with debris and garbage for the most part, like old like flowers and plants, things that weren't used, kind of stuff like that, like kind of almost like a compost area.
Do I see any like bones or anything in the garbage?
Not immediately, no. Would you like
Well-
to dig through and look for some?
I'm gonna turn to Orlo and say, like, look, hey, plant man, is there any reason why she would need a place like this?
If she's trying to cultivate some sort of fungus or something, I suppose, or some other sort of ingredient for her potions, but it so far it just looks like a normal compost pile to me.
All right.
I'm gonna dig a little.
Okay.
I could go over my notes also once we can see again.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a survival check.
Do you survive
5.
the goo?
You jam your hands into this pile of trash and garbage and debris and plant material, and it is wet and sticky and gross, and you feel around until you are more than uncomfortable, and you do not feel anything that is solid.
This was a bad idea.
I don't disagree. Is there anywhere else we can go, or is this a dead end?
There is still another, like the hallway continues on past this room.
Oh, okay.
Oh. All right, let's. Do I see anything I can wipe my hand on?
Emmerin and Orlo.
I'm not
That's
gonna
exactly
do that.
what I was thinking.
Laya is too proper for that. Like Skelly would. Laya's not gonna do that. I'll just wipe it on my pants, I guess. And then
Well-
keep going down the hallway.
Okay. And as you kind of walk forward, there's another room, kind of an opening ahead of you that you can see. And at the mouth of what I'm assuming when you get to this room, you can see that on your far, like direct left, like immediate left, there is a hallway that kind of cuts back diagonally, and then another room off to the left-hand side of this room as well. But in the middle of this room, you can see off on the far wall, there's like this is where there's definitely some alchemy materials and some like flasks and conical flasks and the distillation machines and things like that. But also in the middle of this room is a very normal chair. Like just a wooden chair.
Is there anything around the chair?
No,
No stains, no markings, nothing.
nothing.
Don't like that.
Is it lit by anything, or is it just like
Oh,
sitting
it's
there in the
lit.
darkness?
It's lit, fam.
God damn it.
There is one torch off on the far wall of this room that kind of is very faintly flickering, and it kind of illuminates some of the equipment, and it kind of barely reaches out into the middle of this room, but that's about it. Most of this room is still dark enough for you guys to stay hidden and out of the sight, but it's also hard for you to see anything other than Laya.
It's a very pristine chair. Can I just make a little note too here that like as we're going through these rooms and stuff like that, like we're quietly closing the door so that doesn't seem like we've been here.
There's no doors other than the one
Oh,
that
there's no
you
doors. Okay.
encountered first.
Emmerin has created a door and now closed it.
That will definitely be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Would you like to investigate any of this stuff further?
The chair, I guess.
And Emmerin will point out the alchemy supplies to Orlo and say, maybe have a look, see if you recognize anything. I'll watch your backs.
So yeah, I was going to see if I could piece anything together with like the equipment there, the ingredients, any of that based on what I know so far.
So you give me an investigation check with advantage, Orlo, and Laya give me an investigation check. Or an investigation or perception check, either or.
15.
12.
Orlo, you can definitely tell you've had plenty of experience with some of this equipment before. Some of it is a little bit more advanced than what you are used to, but you can tell that this is still some type of potion making equipment, distillates, things of that nature, trying to remove essences from plants or whatever that they would use in something larger than this, probably, in terms of potion making. But also on this table, you see specifically some of the herbs that you remember Granny May picking in Barisa.
Do I see any like remnants in anything like that would indicate like a final product?
Not a final product, but there is definitely stuff in some of these vials for sure. And it is almost impossible to tell what they are, especially at least in this lighting.
I can't really tell what's going on here. It's someone's definitely making something, and I see some of the stuff that Granny May left Barisa with over on that table, but it's too hard to tell in here. But if maybe we could take some of this stuff back upstairs, I might be able to look into it a little bit more.
Maybe we could pocket a couple samples.
Are there any like spare vials that nobody would notice, like goes missing, like would have gone missing?
I can't talk for if they would notice or not, but there's definitely some extra vials that are just kind of sitting around on the table for sure.
Are there any like out of the way, like that are like hidden off?
There's,
Like-
I mean, there's a lot of them here, so you would probably assume that it would be safe to at least swipe one or two of them without any question, unless somebody's particularly obsessive about it.
Right. I don't know what that would be like.
No, what a what a world would that be?
So, yeah, I'm gonna take a couple of the vials and look for like the two most like interesting or intriguing ones that I can find, and kind of bottle them up and cork them and put them in my bag.
I will note that. And then Laya, as you're kind of taking a look at this chair, you don't touch it immediately, but from what you're looking at, it literally just looks like a normal chair that is just brand new, that is sitting in the middle of this room. It doesn't look like it's been touched. It doesn't look like it's worn in any capacity. You look at the legs, you look at the back, the seat itself, and it looks brand new.
Was that dude that we met in the closet at Zrinka's a treeman?
Yes.
They didn't like carve him into a chair, did he? Like,
Not breathing, that you can tell.
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and try to like touch the chair with the Mage Hand.
The mage hand kind of floats over and just pokes the chair, and nothing happens.
Chair
Still
wobble.
don't like it.
I mean, what you would expect to happen from the amount of pressure that it gives, but it doesn't. Like, it slides back slightly, tilts a little bit.
Okay,
But nothing,
all right.
nothing
An important
externally
distinction.
weird. Yes, nothing externally weird happens. That is fair.
Again, it's just another case of a thing that looks too normal.
And you said there are two more hallways now.
Yes, there's one. So if you're standing
Jesus.
facing the chair, there's one that kind of diagonals back towards where the room you think roughly would be that you listened to initially, and then there's one off to your left as well.
We don't see any kind of like restraints or anything like that on the chair?
Nothing.
And there is one more direction we can go. The other one we think circles back into the room that we think is
At least it heads
Built
back in
advanced.
that direction. Yes.
gotcha.
I'm gonna recommend that we take the hallway to the left.
So this one's a much smaller hallway, and as you kind of take a few steps forward, you can see a lot more clearly into this one. And immediately, you kind of pause, because unlike the rest of this area that you're in right now, the floor is wooden. The walls, everything, it looks built up like normal. It looks very much like what a normal tavern or inn interior would look like. And there are inside a bunch of it's kind of an octagonal room, excuse me,
I was just
that
gonna say octagonal.
that has just a bunch of doors kind of lining all of the walls except for the one that you walked in.
I don't like this either.
Nothing about this feels right. I don't know what to do, to be completely honest with you. We can't double back. Yeah.
What if we go back upstairs and then purposely make a lot of noise and like call out for Granny May to make her think that we're just checking in on her and bring her out?
But I already poked my head in the house and yelled out. If we make any more of a racket, she's gonna know that we know something.
But could we potentially get Trash Can to cause a ruckus and get her attention and come out?
Cause a ruckus how?
I don't know.
What if we let him out of his pen?
Let him out. Use your mage hand to spook him. Just get him to cause some sort of noise. And if she's any type of care for Trash Can, she'll come running.
We're not gonna hurt the animal.
For the greater good.
Just having a look at Skelly's face like, hold on, okay, hold on. Let's take a step back here.
I suppose we could try that.
We're not going to spit roast him or anything.
How dare you?
I said we're not.
Let's just go before we get caught.
Lead the way. You're the one that can see.
Okay, so
As
I'll like.
you guys are starting to turn around to kind of head back,
Oh no.
you can. This is twofold. Number one, you can a lot more clearly hear down this hallway where they are, and you can hear the conversation a little bit more. But you also hear behind you a very faint moaning, groaning of sorts. Kind of just.
In the direction we came?
Yes, from behind you.
Like in the
Horrible.
room, in the bedroom.
The built up room, yes.
Do you think it's somebody she used a sleeping potion on?
Could be. Maybe two of us should check that out, and maybe one of us could listen to see if we hear anything important from the other conversation.
Since I have the dark vision, I'll go look.
I'll come with you just in case.
All right.
Oh, use them great big ears or something, would you?
I suppose I could just stay put.
Or do you want to come?
No, I want to get out of here.
In true Orlo fashion, Orlo is scared.
The best kind of adventure. The one that lives.
Do you all not remember what happened at Barisa? And that person is here right now, and we are not really equipped for that.
She might not be here. She might be communicating with her through something, like we saw her through the well. Just listen to the conversation. We'll be right here.
Okay, I'm listening.
And then I'll just kind of roll my eyes at him and cautiously walk over towards the light moaning.
Orlo, make a perception check. And as the two of you kind of make your way back into the room,
Doesn't Orlo get an advantage with his big ol' ears?
no, that's for smelling.
Damn it.
Big old nose. Right.
I mean, technically, yes, I do get advantage according to my character sheet, but
Also that, but it's not. That's
Yeah.
That's from something different.
Well, either way, I abandoned my physical dice and gave the digital dice another try, and it was a bad choice. So I rolled a 6.
So as Orlo is standing there, you start to listen to some of the conversation, and then you really don't want to be here, so you get very easily distracted, remembering that you have snacks in your pocket.
Berries.
But you can still hear the conversation like going on in the background. You're just not actively listening.
Okay.
The two of you walk into the room, and you walk up closer to where you believe the noise is coming from, and all the doors are closed. So if you want to investigate any further, you're going to have to open one of these.
Do we hear which door? Like, do we hear a noise coming from any of them?
Not immediately.
So maybe we can like 2 by 2 check each door with a ear to it and see what we hear.
That sounds good.
For the sake of brevity, for the most part, as you would check these, there's very little that you would hear. Some of them you may hear like just some slight rustling. Occasionally, not like a constant, but just like a shift or a movement. Maybe some creaking of like a wood or a bed or a chair. And that would be the extent of what you would hear.
Like I say, pick one.
All right, and I'll just slowly open the door that is whichever one's in front of me.
As you kind of creak this door open, and you start to peer inside, you can see that they're very small, thin rooms, almost like a solitary prison cell. And there's a nightstand and a bed and nothing else in these. But laying on the bed is there is a person, what appears to be sleeping.